I finally joined a Kyle versus Taylor gaming night on the PKA Hangout. What does it take to be in that Hangout? Is it like a $50 thing? It's all 50. You can't do it with like 5 or something to get into
You'd
that
be a
Discord.
friend of mine.
Okay. That's how I did it.
Yeah. I don't have any friends that don't pay me $50.
I like Finn's in that. Finster's in there. He pops in every now and then and goofs around with. I don't charge him.
Cool. Not with money.
No.
Yeah, I saw the game. There were some highlights for me. It wasn't even the gameplay. Kyle was explaining how everyone in the you have to understand this is a battlefield. It's 4 people playing at once. They played free for all and domination 2v2. And Taylor, how many people are on your team? Would you say this is NPCs?
1,500.
1,500. Sure.
Lot. Yeah.
Kyle's explaining they all have a backstory. He's like, you can zoom into this guy. There's a guy running for his life. He's not obeying Kyle's commands anymore. He's just running into the woods. And Kyle's explaining, like, well, he has like a wife and kids at home.
Yeah. They await his return in Lorien Forest.
Yeah, he can't die in this battle.
He must return to the calls of Kurak, from whence he came.
Yeah.
Warhammer 3 is what we're talking about. Slush. Total Warhammer 3, the RTS top down.
Fantasy Warhammer RTS.
It's really cool for cool people.
It's a cool game.
It's a cool game.
You get so much pussy.
It genuinely is fucking sick. It's a sweet game.
I'm a massive fan of Warhammer. I used to collect that shit like fuckloads when I was younger.
I dare you to produce any kind of Warhammer physical item.
I would. All of my stuff is out in the lounge room, and I'm not wearing pants. So
I'll take your word for it then.
Just fluff it a little bit, then go get your stuff.
Yeah, I sold most of it back in the day. I have like 1 set left of Chaos Space Marines, and they're not painted.
Cool.
I was like, I'm gonna leave. I was like, I'm gonna paint those, but I got rid of a lot of it back in the day. But yeah, I used to love it, and I've heard the books are really good. I've been needing to get.
I've heard good stuff about the book. I've read 2 or 3 or 4 of the 40K books. The game we play is based in the fantasy Warhammer universe, which has a lot of similarities. The gods are the same, but it's it's fantasy. It's
as
like,
opposed to the
sci-fi
realism one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, one's like galactic space shit, and the other is more like, the Empire is just a bunch of people. It's the Emperor of Man, and it's just a bunch of guys on horses and spears.
Is there, if not fantasy, like a factual Warhammer universe?
They do that too.
Or Rome,
They do historical games as well. We're playing more of the one they branded with Warhammer, but they make historical games with just the French versus. But how many times do you do the French versus the Saxons before you're just like, you know what? I hate crossbows.
I used to love that Total War Rome. Back in the day, I used to play that with my brother, and we would sit there for like 15 hours on a game, and we'd start off as like 2 different nations, and we get to the point where it's just like both of us have like half of the world each, and then we're just constantly fighting each other, and then we just have like a massive argument, and either we'd punch each other out, or one of us would just like quit the game.
War is hell.
Jackie said she appreciated the narration you were giving Kyle and explaining what was going on. And
that's nice for her to say. I meant to say it was nice hearing her voice. I hadn't heard from her in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, that was cool. You guys popped in and watched us play for a little while.
Fun.
We played again last night, and I had a fucking meltdown.
I wish we were there for that. That's
I had a
meltdown every show.
Mode.
Let me. I went full Blue Boy Woody mode.
Nice.
So part of it is this: if I have a nap and I get woken up from it sort of unexpectedly, I get like nap blue balls, where I can't control how grouchy I am. I'm just in this very sour mood. I feel mean. When I like I feel like I want to hurt somebody. I'll be malicious. I'll hurt feelings and say cruel things that normally I would just let float through because that's not funny. It's just mean. Don't say that. But that happened yesterday, and I told them, everybody. Everybody. The problem
did you catch a stray?
A little.
Really.
Not really.
I almost texted Taylor, hey, if any of that was directed toward you rudely, I'm sorry. It was just meant for everyone. I started typing it.
I was kind of laughing at it, just like, this is kind of hilarious, like because he was saying the whole time, like, I'm in a bad mood, I'm gonna blow up, and I'm like, I think he's kind of goosing up the humor a little bit, and he was not.
I was not. I kept telling him, I'm
carrying his load.
Oh, it wasn't that at all. What happened was Taylor wants to get everybody involved and have a big war 2v2, but the problem is that game suffers from a few things. It's not a super popular game, so not a lot of people play the multiplayer specifically. You have to have a very good PC hardware-wise, thousands of dollars. You have to have very good bandwidth so you can connect. We're all clicking this RTS. Microseconds are happening, and if there's the whole thing slows down and starts lagging if anybody has bad bandwidth. And I'll sit there, Taylor will be like, hey, yeah, you want to play with us? Do you have this game? To all these people that I know either are just bad at all games, bought the game just to be kind, have never played it and never will, people who have like really shitty computers, people who have awful laggy internet, and I'll sit there because I'm being polite normally, and and hours of my time will be wasted while we try to have a game with these people, sitting in lobbies for an hour and a half, playing for 15 minutes only to find that they're going to drop because their system can't handle the game, then spending another 20 minutes like getting everybody back in the lobby only to find that you know what I mean? Like,
can I pause you?
Yeah.
Is there a way for them to test without you to see if they're capable of playing this game? No. Okay.
Not exactly. We all need to connect, all four of us there. It really puts a stress on things. Yeah. So I just had enough. I'm like, no, I don't want to play with you. I don't want to play with any of you. No. No, Taylor, it won't work. And I just exploded.
See, Taylor, you specifically, he doesn't want to play with you.
Yeah, he said, Taylor, get the hell out of here.
Taylor, it won't work.
It's like, I just want to play. If me and Taylor get in the lobby and just play, we can play a game and then another and then another and then another. But when we involve all these people who can't play, don't know how to play, don't have the system to play, or don't have the bandwidth to play, it's just a fucking nightmare.
It was like after the blow up and everything, like we decided, like Kyle was like, I'm doing 1v1s with Taylor. I'm doing 1v1s with Taylor tonight. We're running games. We're practicing. And then someone came in like comically soon after that and was like, hey, are you guys playing? You know, you need someone else to jump in. And Kyle was just like, I am running 1v1s with Taylor tonight. It will not work out. If we try this, I am telling you, it will not pan out. Yeah. We're 1v1ing. If you would like to watch, you can watch.
If they want to get in the group and play with me, get up, do what I do. Because I get on an hour and a half, 2 hours early before y'all do. And I make sure shit works. I'm there for hours before you. I show up to this show 15. I'm here when sometimes when Zach isn't here. You know, get there early and we'll get and y'all get in a room together and make your own game that works and then invite me. But I'm not going to be your overseer and your fucking Mythbuster and the guy who tinkers on your goddamn hardware. Well, maybe an SSD will help. Of course it'll fucking help. They're free. They're free now. It's the 21st century. Get an Anywho.
Yeah. And I don't know if like hammered this part home enough. Like, it's not just trying to get into a game. Like, multiplayer in this game is rife with errors and glitches, and it will sometimes for no reason tell you can't start a game. Everything's set up correctly. Everything, and then you back out, do it again. Now it will work. Like,
I don't know what I'm talking about, but I did watch it for one night, and it seems like preparing yourself to start a game is at least as time consuming as Tarkov. People spend 15 minutes making decisions prior to the game, and the wrong people could spend 30 or 40.
Yeah, and that's not that big of a deal, because it's like if everyone's in the lobby and you're picking your military, and it gets to be like 10 minutes. You can be like, hey, is everybody readied up? And usually someone will be like, oh, I didn't even realize I was taking a while.
We're all smoking too. So
that might calm you down. Because in Tarkov, I don't like that.
You take 10 minutes and then I'm like, no, back to the drawing board. And then it's like
in Tarkov, I play Tarkov solo for that reason. I'm not gonna wait on y'all anymore. I had a little blow up in Tarkov. I was like, look, man, I love playing with you guys. Duos and trios. Duos and trios are my favorite. But I would rather play 10 solo matches than 2 fucking duos or trios. And that's just what's going to happen if I have to drag y'all around and wait on you to get out. And then, I need to clean my stash. I got on an hour early out of respect for you, and I cleaned up my stash. Why couldn't you do that for me? You know? Yeah. I like to play most of those games solo, but this is a game where I want to compete with somebody. I need, what's the saying about steel sharpening steel or something?
Iron sharpens iron.
Iron sharpens iron. Yeah. I need Taylor there to Taylor's very smart. He studies during the day and improves every night, and it shows. And so
Taylor?
That's why I connect with the
Look at
others.
his glasses. Can't you tell?
I was confused for a
Look
second.
how
Never
thick
mind.
these are. Yeah, it's such a fun game. I'm having a blast with it.